Let's be honest. Gaming in 2025 is kind of wild. You've got billion-dollar blockbusters with real-time hair physics, and then you've got a pixelated farming game talking about ducks and turnips, absolutely dominating your Steam hours. Some of the most iconic and beloved games look like they could run on a toaster. And yet, they beat out the most visually stunning AAA releases in terms of time played, emotional connection, and pure fun. But somehow has deeper relationship mechanics than some dating sims. You plant crops, raise animals, and emotionally bond with a pixel man who hates mayonnaise. Or Factorio, where the graphics are functional at best, but the complexity of your factory, literal art. Literal art. It's like engineering meditation. There's no cinematic storytelling here, and it's just you, a conveyor belt, and the crushing weight of efficiency and bug invaders. Or maybe you're the invader. And then you've got diplomacy is not an option, which looks chaotic and cartoony, but hides a brutally fun siege warfare system and dark humor that hits harder than expected. Boundary takes the voxel look and leans into it. It's not pretty in the traditional sense, but it's satisfying. Watching your machines buzz to life while you automate everything is the dopamine loop incarnate. And Dave the Diver? Oh, Dave the Diver. That game's great. Dave the Diver, a pixel meets HD hybrid, I suppose, with sushi economics, deep sea diving, and espionage. I don't even know what the genre of this game is, but I know I just couldn't stop playing it. There's one thing that keeps us coming back to games, regardless of how they look, the gameplay loop, right? The sweet spot of effort and reward, of doing something simple but having it feel amazing. Factorio makes your brain light up like a Christmas tree. Every time you solve a bottleneck, Foundry and Satisfactory give you the freedom to build something massive from scratch. And it just works. It scratches that itch. Enshrouded, while graphically modest compared to AAA games, gives you a moody, exploration-rich experience. It mixes survival, crafting, and light RPG mechanics with just enough mystery to keep you chasing the fog. These games respect your time and intelligence. They trust that you don't need explosions every 5 seconds to stay engaged. You just need a satisfying loop. When you're not shackled to realism, you're free to get weird. And weird is good. Diplomacy is not an option. Lets you throw plague-ridden bodies over castle walls. Dave the Diver lets you manage a sushi empire, diving in the ocean searching for fish and managing your sushi bar at night. Stardew Valley has witches, magic, and your dead grandpa talking to you through a glowing scroll. None of this would work in a hyper-realistic 4K game. At least it wouldn't be able to be portrayed as cozy and sweet. But in these stylized low-fidelity worlds, it's charming. Stylized games age better too. Factoria's visuals looked dated when it launched, and they still look dated, obviously. But it doesn't matter. The game's design holds up, and that's what lasts. So let's shift gears a little bit. Because while gameplay is king, story is the soul, and when you get a game that nails both, that's the holy grail. Baldur's Gate 3. Now, side note, I love Baldur's Gate 3. My wife will tell you different. I just get burnt out on games. I am not at the point in my life anymore where I can play a game continuously, like being monogamous towards one game. I like to have variety. So anyway, my wife loves the game more than I do. Let's just leave it at that. So Baldur's Gate 3 is that rare game that's both graphically stunning and narratively rich. You don't just play a character, you become them. Every decision changes your story, your failures matter, your relationships matter, everything matters. Your actions matter. Meanwhile, ESO, the Elder Scrolls Online, isn't known for photorealism, but it builds a world you can live in. The lore is deep, the quests are better than most MMOs, they're all voice acted. You come for the fantasy. You stay for the stories. Even Path of Exile 2, an ARPG with a top-down view, is dripping with atmosphere and dark narrative. You don't need to see every pore on a character's face to feel the weight of the world you're in. That's not what it's about. Here's a spicy take. Some of the prettiest games offer the worst value. Meanwhile, like the games like Stardew Valley, $15, it gives you hundreds of hours of meaningful content. You know, that didn't cost $70. Dave the Diver didn't cost $70, nor did Foundry, or Diplomacy is Not an Option. These games don't nickel and dime you. They just ask one thing: please have fun. And let's contrast that with some AAA titles that make you pay premium prices for half-baked content. Plus DLC, plus skins, plus a battle pass. It's not about the money anymore. It's about what you get. I know for a fact, if I paid $70 for a game and it was worth $70, I would be fine with it. But that's the problem. They're not worth it most of the time. It's funny how when I was growing up, it seemed like with every new game that was released, with each year, the graphics seemed to just get better and better as they continue to push the limits of the consoles. Then once the next generation of consoles were released, you would most definitely expect to see a huge jump in graphic fidelity. Let's take Call of Duty, for instance. This may be an unpopular opinion, but the evolution of this game is literally just the graphics. That's all people typically have to look forward to. It's interesting how that has changed with games, and I no longer care about graphics as much. It's more about the gameplay, the story, the experience. Call of Duty is gorgeous. It really is. But try to launch it without having to close 3 pop-ups, dismiss 2 bundles, and ignore a new skin for a character you don't even play. You're not playing a game. You're navigating a storefront. Now, take EVE Online. Yes, it's monetized, and people that have watched my channel before know that I do play that game and I enjoy it. But it knows what it knows what it is, and it leans into it. You know what you're getting into. It's a space capitalism simulator. Spreadsheets in space, Excel in space. The monetization is part of the drama. The difference? Transparency. If your game feels more like a gotcha slot machine than an interactive experience, something's off. Why do we really play games? Well, that is a question that I get asked quite often by all kinds of people. Friends, family members, and stuff like that across the board. And what's interesting is I would ask them, why do you read books? I love to read as well. I don't read as much as I used to, but I do love to read. And the answer is very similar. Also, why do you watch TV? Well, we watch TV to entertain ourselves, to feel something, to experience another world. Same with books. Well, games are exactly the same. We play games to feel something, to escape, to connect, to master, to build, to explore. And none of that is tied to pixels per inch. We play to lose ourselves in the moment, to feel clever, to feel powerful, sometimes even to feel small. Games are art, therapy, puzzles, and playgrounds all at once. They don't need to be pretty. They just need to mean something to you. A game that's fun once is cool, but a game you keep coming back to for years, that's legacy. Satisfactory, Factorio, Path of Exile, these games get in your bloodstream. You don't just play them, you live in them. And it's not because they look amazing, it's because they feel amazing. The experience is amazing. The content is there. When a game gives you room to grow, experiment, and try again with a new approach, that's when it becomes timeless. So yeah, maybe the next time someone says that game looks bad, you just smile because you know the game is secretly incredible. Graphics age, gameplay doesn't, story doesn't, community doesn't, emotion doesn't. Let me know in the comments what the ugliest game you've played the heck out of. What's a game you almost skipped because of how it looked, but ended up loving? I've had a few of those. So drop a like if this hit home, sub to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, keep playing what you love, no matter what it looks like. Because the best games, they're felt, not seen.